Well, good morning. So I thought I would do a brief practice today before I head out. So if you'd like to join me now or later on today, feel free to come to your mat in a seated position. Take a moment to shift a little bit from side to side. So you kind of sort of balance the weight between the left and the right, and then shift a little bit forward and back as well. And just kind of find that place within the center where you can land into your seat. And then just relax the shoulders down, lengthen tall through your spine. You can have your eyes open or closed as you wish. And just begin to feel the space that you're in. So perhaps you're aware of sensory details, some sounds or smells, or anything else around you that you're currently aware of. And then begin to breathe a little bit more deeply and consciously so that with every breath, you start to land a little bit more into the space that you're in. And then perhaps you start to notice your internal environment. So maybe there are sensations that you're already aware of within your physical body, whether it's just average everyday sensations or whether you're actually working with an injury. Remember to always take care of yourself when you're in your practice. All right, so we'll join our palms in front of the heart. And before we begin to really move, let's set a personal intention for practice. So, this can be anything at all that you want to sort of focus on through your practice. It could also be a recognition of what this practice means for you personally. And sometimes I like my focus to be just on noticing my breath moment by moment. And so that's where my mind will be, is noticing, how am I breathing? Could I breathe a little bit more deeply in this moment? Could I use that breath to land back inside myself when I get chaotically thought heavy? All right, so from here, interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up. Begin to reach up through one hand and up through the other side, left and right. Gently pull down on your fingers a little bit. Lengthen up through the arms, down through the sides of the body. Ah. All right, and then free the arms, take them behind the back. Interlace the fingers there, and then without even thinking about straightening the arms necessarily, just start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So maybe your elbows stay bent in service of moving the shoulder blades toward each other. You start to feel this big opening across your chest. Take a few deep breaths into this space that we're inviting into the chest. Take one more breath. All right, and then release the hands to come rest on the floor, and then slide your right hand out a little bit. As you lean into that right hand, sweep your left arm up and over. And as you begin to reach with your left hand, squeeze and release the fingers. Start to bring some life, some awareness, some movement into your left hand. And then rotate through the wrist. A couple of times each way. And then let a deep breath in lift you up. Exhale over to the other side. Leaning now into your left hand, reach with your right hand. Squeeze and release the fingers, spreading them wide apart. Make a soft fist. Rotate through the wrist. All right, let an in-breath lift you up. And exhale, release your hand down. All right, now take this left hand over to your right leg, and then your right hand towards the floor behind you. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine, so you really feel your whole torso lifting up. And then exhale, slowly twist to the right. Now there'll be a point where you stop in the rotation, where the body stops. So pause there, but then invite movement into the head and neck. So you turn your head back over to the left, as far as is comfortable. And then turn your head back over to the right, again, as far as is comfortable. And keep that gentle movement happening in your head and neck, while at the same time beginning the process of relaxing your facial muscles. So let go of any expression on the face, any scrunching of the forehead, any tension in your jaw. Start to let those things go. All right, then when you feel ready, slowly release the twist, and we'll take the same twist over to the other side. So right hand to left leg, left hand to the floor behind. As you inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, twist to the left. And then when you get to that point where the body doesn't turn any further to the left, bring that movement back into your head and neck. Turning the head to the right and to the left as far as is comfortable. But go nice and slow. Ease your way into movement. Sometimes we can feel a little bit more stiff in the mornings, or really after any period of time where you haven't been moving very much. So if you work at a desk, maybe middle of the day would be a good time to do some of these movements, or at the end of the day. All right, take another breath. All right, and then come back to center. All right, so we'll go ahead and lay down for a few movements. So as you come down to rest on your back, you can just start with your knees bent, your feet resting on the floor. Take a moment to notice how it feels to land on the earth. All right, invite a little swaying into your legs so that your knees begin to drop side to side. All right, and then bringing your legs back to relative stillness, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Take the legs into the chest, grab through for your left leg, and just give your legs a squeeze, hug them into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. All right, and then begin to rotate through your left ankle. Wiggle the toes, move them around in space. All right, now take your hands behind your left leg so that you can straighten your left leg up toward the ceiling. And so we'll start by reaching up through the heel, pulling the toes down gently. So you feel that your left shin here is contracting to pull the toes down toward the knee. And then point up through your toes so you get that opposite sensation of a lengthening or stretching down your shin and the front of your foot. And then once again, reach up through your heel. And point through your toes. All right, release your left foot to the floor, followed by the right foot, and then we'll switch. So cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Guide the legs in, give them a squeeze. So you're just grabbing your right leg here. Rock a bit side to side. Rotate through the right ankle. Wiggle and scrunch the toes, move them around in space. Take another deep breath. All right, take your hands behind your right leg so that you can straighten it. Reach up through the heel and feel your toes pulling down toward your knee. Point up through the toes. Again, reach through the heel. And once more, point through the toes. All right, now release your right foot to the floor, followed by your left foot. Take one more deep breath in and out. All right, then roll to one side and bring yourself back up. But this time, come onto hands and knees. And so as you come to hands and knees, we'll take the hands about under the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips, and then just start with a little swaying of the hips from side to side. So you start to feel into your inner hips and your outer hips as you move them side to side. All right, and then move them forward and back. I'm feeling into the back side of your hips, the front side of your hips. Now we'll start to draw a circle. So the next time that you take your hips forward, then go to the left and back and right and forward. Left and back and right and forward. And just do that a few times. And as you do this, with awareness of your hips, also start to now notice, how do your hands feel when you're doing this? Can you notice the pattern of weight shifting within your hands? All right, the next time that your hips go back, change direction. So go left and forward and right and back. Left, forward, right, and back. Again, still noticing the hands, feeling sensation. If it ever becomes too much, just come up onto fists. Give your wrists a little bit of a break. All right, take another breath. All right, now from here, just begin to take your hips back towards your heels, and we'll pause briefly here in child's pose. So as you take your seat back towards your feet, allow your back to round forward. So maybe your torso comes in between your legs if you have them wide apart. Or if your knees are pretty close together, maybe your torso is laying on your thighs. Just make yourself comfortable with the distance between your legs. Release the head toward the floor. Maybe it's resting on the floor or another surface of your choosing. Maybe you have a pillow nearby or a block. All right, take one more cycle of breath. And the next time that you breathe in, go ahead and rise up onto hands and knees. And then from here, we'll step the left foot forward. And just step into a short lunge so that when you lift your torso up, your left knee is over your ankle and your right hip is over your knee. And we'll take our palms together in front of the heart, interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up. And we'll begin to side bend here in a moment, but first notice the parts of your body that are touching the floor and really begin to press down into that front foot and your back leg. Now you're using your connection with the earth to feel very grounded. So maintain that engagement of your muscles as we now side bend to the left. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to the left. Twice more. Inhale up to center. Exhale to the left. One more. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. All right, as you now inhale back up to center, exhale and take your hands to the floor and step forward into a forward fold. Now step your feet wider than your hips, bend your knees, lay your belly on your thighs. So for some of us, our feet might need to be pretty wide apart. For others, if you have a lot of flexibility in the backs of your legs, maybe your feet can be closer. Just depends on how it feels. So I like to start the forward fold with the knees very bent and the torso laying on the thighs so that we're starting right away with support for the low back. And let the head fall toward the earth. Gently shake your head, yes and no. All right, now bend your knees very deeply. Lift your head to look forward. Move the weight back towards your heels. Knees are over the ankles, or maybe a tad forward of them. And then take your arms forward. Take one more breath in. And exhale, fold forward again. All right, come back to hands and knees. And we'll do the same thing on the right side. So just start by stepping your right foot forward to your right hand. And coming into that short lunge as you lift up. Front knee over ankle, left hip over knee. All right, palms come together in front of the heart. Interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up. All right, again, before we start to side bend, connect with the earth. Press down through your front foot. Engage your back leg. Feel the connection that you have with the earth. And then take a deep breath in. Exhale, side bend to the right. Twice more, inhale, up to center. Exhale to the right. And one more, breathing in, come up to center. Breathing out to the right. All right, as you breathe in, coming up to center, breathe out, hands to the floor, and again, step forward into your forward fold. Once again, step the feet a little bit wider than your hips are. Bend your knees, lay the belly on the thigh. Release the weight of the head. Relax also into your face and your jaw. You let that area begin to droop. All right, bend your knees very deeply. Lift your head, look forward. Move the weight back towards your heels. Take your arms forward. Take another breath in. This time, exhale to stand. Straighten your legs. Release your arms. All right, so we'll do an energizing breathing practice or two. So just start with your feet about hip distance or maybe just a little bit wider apart. This one is breath of joy. It's also called conductor breath in my opinion. So this will be 3 short inhalations through your nose and then exhale through your mouth. So the inhalations, you'll take your arms forward, out, and up. So 3 quick sniffs in through the nose. And then a big exhale out the mouth as you bend your knees and sweep your arms back. So I'll show you one round and then we'll do about 10 to 15 together. So it looks like this. All right, so as you're breathing out, remember that's out through the mouth. And as you're breathing in, it's in through the nose. All right, so take a moment to get grounded into your feet. Have a little bit of buoyancy in your knees so that you're not locking your knees and inviting this sense of rigidity into the body, but let yourself be malleable with your breath. All right. So feeling into your feet, bring your attention inside your body. And let's begin. Last one. Just keep your knees bent. Let your forearms kind of rest on your thighs. Head a little bit higher than your heart. Let yourself kind of settle back down. This particular breathing practice always makes me feel like a snow globe that's gotten shook up. So it takes a minute or so, maybe not quite that long, but a little bit of time to settle back down. All right, in your own time, slowly come back up. We'll do one more thing from this standing position. Step our feet wide. Turn the toes out. And then start to squat down and take your knees over your ankles. So we're setting up goddess warrior pose. Knees over ankles. Make sure that your knees are truly happy. Otherwise, bring your knees just a little bit behind the level of your ankles so that you're not putting quite as much pressure in the knees by squatting too deeply. So find a place where your knees are truly happy. Find some engagement in the muscles in the backside of your hips. So there's this feeling of the knees gently pressing out and back a little bit. All right, now with this sort of strong stance in the legs, take the arms up and do the same thing. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. Elbows moving back just like your knees are moving back. And then if you start to feel your shoulders creeping up towards your ears, let them drop down. So that not only are the shoulder blades moving toward each other, they're moving away from the head. And with all this engagement through quite a few parts of the body, let your face be soft. Feel your breath. Take up space. Identify your focus. What is your intention for practicing today? Take one more breath. All right, straighten your legs. Release your arms. All right, take the feet back to about hip distance apart and just sway your arms side to side. Let them fully relax. Take one more breath. All right, and then in whatever manner works best for you, go ahead and come down into a seated position. So just as we began, as you come into your seat, it might be a cross-legged seat. You might be sitting in another way, perhaps on a chair if you want to. We'll take just about a minute and a half or so to sit in silence. And so as you gradually come into your seated position, allow your eyes to close. Once again, starting with awareness of the space around you. And so what sensory details bring themselves to your attention? What do you notice just by closing your eyes and getting relatively still within your body? Are there sounds? Are there smells? What are you aware of? And then gradually begin to notice all the things within your body, all the sensations that might be present, the areas of the body that might be a little bit warmer now after a little bit of movement. And as we notice these physical sensations, there might be also certain thoughts, emotions, memories that come up. And so rather than pushing away anything that arises for you, allow yourself to be with all of it. All that arises, what do you notice? Now you can stay where you are for as long as you would like, for as long as you have time to stay within this space of practice and observation. But if you need to go about the rest of your day, feel free to join me in bringing the palms together in front of the heart. And connecting once more with your intention for being present. Why are you on your mat today? And then if you'd like to join in, we'll seal the practice with the chant of Om. So take a deep breath in. Om. Shanti, 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 which means peace, peace, peace. May we know peace within our hearts, our minds, and our bodies. And may we resonate that peace throughout the world. Bow to the light within your own heart and the hearts of each other. Namaste. Thank you again for being present. Have a wonderful day. Bye.